Shoprite, bringing it home, is the largest retailer in Sub-Saharan Africa, and it recently, as you said just a short while ago, terminated talks on a deal with Steinhoff.
Yes, this deal would have been for Shoprite to acquire the African operations of Steinhoff, which would of course result in Steinhoff being its controlling shareholder. So for the moment, that's not going ahead. The very successful retailer that we know and love remains independent, and Christo Visa still has a chunky 20% or thereabouts stake in the whole thing.
Market cap 113 billion rand, PE of 20.4, dividend yield 2.4%. Let's look at the share price graph.
So that's one of our local shares. Now that might not look too tremendous, but it looks better than quite a few of the other retailers, frankly.
Well, it does. I mean,
South African retailers.
Especially, but even if you look at that trend versus the international stocks we've just spoken about, Tesco and Carrefour, there's something to be said for the shape of that graph.
Chris, what do you think?
This is a terrific operation. My one concern here is, there has been a smooth succession apparently from
Whitey
Basson to Meneer Engelbrecht, and hopefully that's going to continue. But it's a tough job for him because they've done their expansion into the rest of Africa, and Africa, as we all know, is suffering mainly from a chronic shortage of foreign exchange. Interestingly enough, if you look at the last set of results from Shoprite, they did spectacularly well in Angola, a country that's taken real pain because of the dramatic plunge in the oil price. And I think they were doing okay in Nigeria as well, but with the oil price still taking a lot of strain and really unlikely to recover this year and next, then rest of Africa I think could be a bit of a challenge for Shoprite. Their East African operations doing exceptionally well.
But talking to the regionality in Africa, East Africa as a region is actually firing on all cylinders.
That's right.
West Africa's in severe trouble.
Yeah. Locally, I think, given the fact that the local economy is going to languish for the next few years, these guys being at the lower end of the spectrum, it'll be mixed. They're obviously trying a big push with Checkers and trying to take on Woolies in the convenience market. That's going to be a very tough ask. Pick and Pay tried it a few years ago and it didn't really work.
I must just clarify my West Africa somber mood. That is obviously Nigeria, which is the largest economy in West Africa,
but isn't it
which
better
is
now with
in a
oil
technical
at
recession.
$50 a barrel than it was at 30?
Nigeria is still in a recession.
Like it only works if oil's at 100.
Well, I don't want to go into the economics of the economy.
Nigeria requires close on $80 a barrel.
But it is tough in Nigeria at the moment.
But as Chris said, they had tremendous results out of Angola.
Exactly.
Which is
And something like Cote d'Ivoire. I'm not sure if they've got a presence in Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire is one of the best performing economies, and that is clearly in the West African space. I
mean, I haven't traveled much in the region, but I'm told that in places like Nigeria, the whole mall where the Shoprite is referred to as the Shoprite. And it is like the #1 premier shopping destination because it's so much better than everything else that's available.
Yeah, and that's a good point. There's no competition, and that's why they did so well in Angola. Zambia, you're getting the power shortages down to 2 hours a day from 8 hours a day now, and that's looking good for them as well. So they're in all the right places.
And they'll be well poised for a turnaround in many of these economies.
Yeah. And Shoprite has continued to do very well locally. It has excellent distribution centres, it has excellent pricing, it's got a great place in the market, people really associate them, so their sales were good. I think also people were anxious that this deal with Steinhoff would have been potentially quite complicated, and it may not have been clear whether it had a solid strategic...
So we are certainly celebrating the fact that it's going it alone?
Well, the share price went up. Did we look at the share price? Yes.
Yeah,
so it spiked when the deal was cancelled, which is what you see right on the end there. So I don't know. I mean, we were oddly enough holding it because we thought we liked both ends of the transaction.
When did we get into this stock?
We haven't held it for all that long. We got it in that little dip there in the middle. So we've held them for about 3 or 4 months.
I'm glad we got it in a dip and not in that spike, the top spike there.
So now, I don't know, because we were holding them because we liked the deal, the question is, do we still hang on? But I think generally the view is that they're appropriately priced. What about the high PE? It doesn't worry you too much? Is that
20?
like where you'd want to see it?
Sitting at a PE of 20?
It is high, and we just did the calculation the other day, Paul. If you strip out Naspers from the Aussie, our normalized PE, if you like, is much lower than the sort of 17 or 18 that most people quote.
So what is the normalized PE after you did that?
It's round about 10, I think, 10, 11, yeah.
So this one is high.
This is
by
high.
comparison, people are obviously expecting even more good news to come operationally as it rolls into the next year.
So let's put that question that you put out there to Chris. We were holding it, and the deal was positive for us. Is that right, Paul? Now that the deal is off the table, Would you exit this story?
Look, I thought the deal was more positive for Steinhoff than for Shoprite, but be that as it may, I love Shoprite and it's a great operation, but I think it may struggle in the poor economic environment we like to face in this country. And they'll get a little bit of relief, I think, as Africa turns up grudgingly, but no, it's going to be a tough one for Shoprite.
What's not?
Not hot.
Not hot. There's your answer, Mr. Theron.
This is difficult because I think, the drought has passed, it seems, and commodity prices are a little bit better and interest rates seem to have stabilized. So I'm going to go the other way, I'm afraid, and say let's stick
You
with
are
this
hot.
one. Hot on this one.
Hot on Shoprite.